Donald Rumsfeld announces on September 10th, 2001, that the Pentagon can't account for $2.3 trillion. Everybody thinks it's a typo. But yet it isn't. The next day we're attacked. Who attacks us? Terrorists. Terrorists that the FBI couldn't locate except for the FBI in Minnesota, which caught Musawi before the attacks, and tried to warn the rest of the FBI around the United States that they were here training to fly airplanes. Minnesota was the only state to catch terrorists before the attack. On the attacks, on the day of September 11th, bin Laden's family was flown out of the country with what? All the evidence was destroyed in the Pentagon. They were running a drill the same day as the attack. If it's a public conspiracy, why can't we haul the military into civil court and put them in jail? Bush and Cheney did this. A few years later, Abu Dhabi is built with slave labor. And the victims, the families from 9/11 can't sue Saudi Arabia. Are you kidding me? $2.3 trillion disappears the day before from the Pentagon budget. We're attacked on 9/11. A $5 trillion U.S. government bond is bought before the attacks. The CIA tries to warn Wall Street by buying stocks on the airlines that are used in the attacks. And a city is built using slave labor to show off the majesty of the terrorist nations that were responsible for the attack. Now, what are you going to believe, the truth or bullshit? Look at where the hijackers came from. Bin Laden was trained by the CIA to fight the Russians in Afghanistan. That means Bin Laden was a CIA operative. There's a DIA, there's a CIA, and there are USAPs, unacknowledged special access programs. These guys were in the United States and nobody could detect them. Some of them were trained here in Vero Beach where I live. They lived here. They took flight lessons here and said they didn't want to fly. They just wanted to crash airplanes. They weren't all that interested in landing. That didn't throw up any red flags with anybody? Seriously? If our DOD was responsible for attacking its own country to get us into a war, so Bush and his buddies could make more money selling oil and weapons, where are we living? Is this sci-fi? Is this a fantasy movie, horror, or is this the real world? Think for yourselves. $2.3 trillion disappears the day before. A $5 trillion U.S. government bond is bought before the attacks. Everybody pulled their money out of Wall Street and put it into bonds, guaranteed to go up. Abu Dhabi is built using slave labor. They advertised for workers. As soon as they arrived in the country, they took away their visas and worked them inhumane hours to build that city. Where did the money go? You're looking at it in Abu Dhabi. That's where it freaking went. And don't tell me anything about religion. Don't even get me started on the holier-than-thou attitude of the people who have this money. You don't deserve to have a holier-than-thou attitude. You deserve to get nuked.